Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the co-founder of the Kelly Cares Foundation, Paqui Kelly, who is here. See, you scared me when you went back there, but she listens to the cues. I like that. You mentioned in that video being proactive quickly, but that is so important. So the folks listening out here, both women and men, because breast cancer is becoming an increasing problem for men, what do you mean when you say be proactive?
Well, in my story, I was considered a pretty healthy person at 36 years old and went in for a checkup following my 2-year-olds. You know, if you're done having kids, you know, maybe you should get a mammogram for a baseline. And at that time, you know, at 36, he goes, we just like to have it before you're 40. So I did, and you know, within a year, I was diagnosed with the cancer. So if I would have waited till I was 40, my story may be quite different. So being proactive, meaning, you know, we can always say, I'll put that off, but I don't think health is one of those things that you should ever do that with.
Coach Kelly mentioned it briefly, and I think most of you know Paqui's story, but some may not. She's not a one-time breast cancer survivor. She's a 2-time breast cancer survivor and has just passed the 6-year cancer-free mark of the second bout.
Thank you.
So you fought cancer twice while raising a young family, a family that's still young, and you didn't abdicate those responsibilities either. I know you got help, but you were still a full-time mom and the wife of a head football coach, and I know you have a great deal of perspective. So I'm sure, I don't want you to raise your hand, but I'm sure there are women in this audience right now who have gotten this diagnosis, who have battled it, or certainly, unfortunately, will battle it. How can they do it successfully? What do they need to do?
Well, one, you do need to be in touch with your health, and you can't ignore it. If you're feeling differently, you know, check it out, because in the road of cancer, most cancers are very slow growing. So, oh, it'll wait. But the longer you wait and the more pronounced your symptoms may be, you're giving the cancer the upper hand. And I know people say, oh, I got to go get this test. Go get the test. I really urge you to do that, because that's information, and that's first, you know, up front and foremost. The battle is up front. You know, be aggressive with it. So I feel like in my circumstance, I'm a Brock 1, so I'm kind of skewed in terms of the type of cancers I get are very aggressive. So thank goodness I was very, you know, diligent in that, because then I'm here to tell you a story about being diligent with your health.
It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This is the Think Pink weekend for the football team, so they'll be doing some things throughout the weekend and wearing some paraphernalia during the game to help bring awareness to that. And you certainly, it's been a busy month for you. You started off by joining other cities just the same size as South Bend, live on Good Morning America earlier this month.
Yeah, we had a great opportunity. We and Tampa Bay and Chicago and New York and South Bend, all in that same grouping, got to join Robin Roberts, who ABC did a kickoff with awareness, and we took the opportunity, and Michiana really showed their colors. We had survivors come out within a 48-hour notice, came out at 6 to 9 on Tuesday morning to kick off October, and say they're proud to be, you know, survivors, and you can be part of this strong network, and there's help out there for you, and it's important that people understand that their care is better. Every day they're learning more things. I was just at a symposium this week in New York with the Breast Cancer Research Foundation, and they produced $40 million for these groups of labs to find better treatments and ways to stop cancer. And it's a mission. You know, it's that quiet side that no one really talks about, the lab work, because it's not really flashy in any sense, but it's long hours and diligent work. And one of the things I'd urge you is that, you know, people in general, is when people say, can we take a test sample or use some of your, you know, please say yes, because they need just as many of that whole group population as they do the people that are sick.
Now, Paqui doesn't seek the spotlight. In fact, I think you would prefer to be anonymous, but she willingly does that because of the causes she believes in so much. So tomorrow she's going to be in front of 80,000 people. The band Chicago is going to honor Paqui, but maybe we should be honoring them because they have been dedicating a special auction they had, Sing with Chicago, and they have raised over $500,000 for the fight against cancer research or for the fight for cancer research, and they have dedicated their efforts the last 2 years to you.
Yeah, Pete Chivarelli's been a strong supporter of Notre Dame and has been with us since we've been here. And I'm here to tell you, I got to see, people come up with unique ideas to help other people. Here's a guy who says, listen, we're going to auction off the opportunity to sing with the band. And I'm here to tell you, the gal sang with the band, and if I would much rather talk to 80,000 people that get up in front of and sing with the band Chicago, even with them backing me up. But she did a great job.
And I know that breast cancer research awareness, it's such a big part of the Kelly Cares Foundation, but it's just one pillar. So I want to talk more about that, but I want to bring out your helper. Please welcome Irish head coach Brian Kelly. Coach, always terrific to see you.
Shake your hand. I won't kiss you.
That's a good idea.
I see Jack more than I see my wife. Jack Nolan's everywhere. Did you know there's 2 Jack Nolans? It seems that way, doesn't it?
My wife's happy that's not true.
Yeah.
I mean, if they had told him heads up that part of this job was to talk with me 4 or 5 times a week, he wouldn't be here. But fortunately, they didn't tell him. We were talking a lot, and we focused on the breast cancer pillar of Kelly Cares, but I guess what I want to start about first, before we get into all the other things that you do, is talk about that conversation, the process that you and Paqui went through before starting this foundation, because you are not figureheads. These folks are involved in this process, every event. Paqui probably a little more because he's got that other job that he has to worry about. But if you go to a major Kelly Cares event, these guys are there at every single one, regardless of where they are. So you knew you were investing. You were going to make a commitment and use some of your very valuable free time. So what was that process like, and how did you determine that you were ready to do this?
Well, we wanted to put the foundation together because she was out there every single day in the community. I said, listen, let's get a foundation together and really start to put this thing together, more so than just all the time and volunteerism that she was putting in to such a great cause. So that's when we said, let's get our foundation together, which we began in Cincinnati, and then obviously when we came here to Notre Dame, it just took off with obviously the Notre Dame brand and coast to coast the support that we've gotten from an incredible group of people here at Notre Dame. So that's when it just absolutely took off, and I think that it was her want and desire to be out there and really be involved in it started the foundation and got it rolling.
And again, it's not just breast cancer research and awareness. Obviously, that was one of the motivating factors. But you're involved in so many other kinds of charities. Talk about some of the ones that are your favorites right now. And I kidded with Paqui last night. I was asking, which is your favorite child? But let's talk about some of the initiatives that right now you're very excited about.
Well, again, a lot of our events are event-driven. So we've got our Football 101, which, kind of came to birth in Cincinnati, and I'm here to tell you there was probably 60 people at our first one, and by the 3rd year we were at 150, and then we came here and we went to 300, and we've limited it to 600 the last 3 years. So there's obviously, and I used to say to Brian before when these people ask me to come and talk about football, and I have moms say, you know what, I don't really know anything about it. We just cook food for the big guys. I'm like, really? And I'm from an all-girl family, so it wasn't like I had a brother or anybody who was playing football. So I go, it's a great sport, and you probably should know if your kid plays tight end or if he's a quarterback. So it kind of stemmed from that. But that's one of mine because it kind of ties in both of us. It's the one thing that we can really do together, and it's a passion we both have. But there's obviously other things that we've done with education is one of our other pillars, and community, and events like the Boys and Girls Club, where there was a need shown as to develop this one room for the 4 to 7-year-olds, and we had a group of helpers and football wives that got together and used their talents and got that done in 2 weeks. So it's not just it doesn't always have to be of a grandeur scale. And one of the things I share with people, it's time, talent, and treasures that we have, and we have them at different parts of our lives. I think we've kind of lost a little bit that giving, not what it is, but how to do it sometimes. It's okay to offer help to people. And if they don't want it, that's okay. But just to offer it is just as important.
One of our neat ones that we're really proud of is Breezy Point in the Rockaways. As you know, that area was hit. You know, you guys were hit so hard by Sandy, and the Catholic Center there that's the home of Notre Dame football on Saturdays. And we needed to step up and help repair the Catholic Center, which was where all of the events take place there. And we're really taken aback by just how strong a community that is, and the support there that they have for each other in rebuilding. And so we wanted to help out there and getting the Catholic Center back up and going, and they're making great progress there. And you know, that's where you watch Notre Dame football on Saturdays in Breezy Point. So one that we're really excited about as well.
And as we move into how this involves the football team, there's a huge Notre Dame fan in New York named Richard McHugh, and I didn't get to ask you this question on the show last night, Coach, but he tweeted me again. Please ask it. So he wants to know, does your wife influence any football decisions?
Yeah, she's like most people. She's really good on Mondays, influencing most decisions, and has great ideas after the fact. Yeah.
Listen, he gets more from the kids than he does from me. Truly.
Actually, my daughter is the best. She'll always come back because, you know, the younger kids go to school and they're hit with, you know, 100 different, hey, you know, why didn't your dad do this? Didn't he do that? And they come in and they'll ask a question, and you know it didn't come from them. You know, the way they posed the question, it was one of their friends. What's wrong with your dad? Why doesn't he run the ball more? You know? And you can just tell the way the questions are posed. Those are usually Monday or Tuesday questions that are asked.
After they've been to school.
Yeah.
And Gracie's not shy.
Oh no, my daughter, she'll ask anything. I remember going back to, you know, that awful week that we had, you know, the tragedy of Tulsa when we lost a young man, Declan Sullivan, and we lost the football game. And my daughter grabbed me, I think it was a Tuesday night, and she was being really nice, and she kind of looked at him. She said, "Dad, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Sure, honey." And I thought she was going to ask me about school. She goes, "Why didn't you kick the field goal?" So I get it, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
She's a killer, though, because, like, Kenzel will just flat out ask you. Yeah. She butters him up and then sinks him.
Well, she's giving me broadcast advice the same way. You know, you're really good, but maybe you should do this.
Yeah, exactly.
I think she's going to be a broadcaster someday. Coming up, Irish Around the Bend. And again, this is part of being the Notre Dame football coach, and this connects so well. These are the kinds of things that you're trying to teach your team. So you're going to the Center for the Homeless. Talk about that.
Center for the Homeless Monday night. Troy Nicholas, our big tight end, is taking the lead with Ernest Jones, who directs our player services program. We have a piece of our program called Irish Around the Bend, where our players take part in community service. This is one of the pieces that, through player development, that we think is very important. We've raised close to $2,000 already, and through our foundation, we're going to provide the homeless a sack of goods that they can have, that we're going to give them, toiletry items, you know, toothbrush, things of that nature. And each one of them will have a card from our players. Each one of our players has written an inspirational sentence or two about hope and inspiration. As well as we've raised some money for him as well. And Troy Nicholas has really taken the lead on this, and we're helping with the resources. So we're excited about that. This coming week is midwinter break, so our players are going to have some time, and they won't be in the classroom, they'll be on the football field, and they're going to be in the community, so they'll be doing some community service next week as well.
And of course, there's many ways you get involved. Football 101, Think Pink with Paqui, the annual golf tournament for women only, that's at Morris Park. There are 3 golf tournaments, including one right here, but you can just make a contribution if you'd like, and the best way to find out how to do that is kellycaresfoundation.org. And you can stay. We have to talk a little football now, but we need your Monday insight, too, as we talk about this game coming up. But people think you've had the last 2 weeks off. The team didn't play, but it hasn't been 2 weeks off. You're coming off maybe your best all-around performance as a team in terms of making plays against Arizona State. How'd you build off that the last couple of weeks?
Well, I think first and foremost, it was, for us, a complete game. We made some mistakes, certainly. We're not, a finished product by any means, but we complemented each other, offense, defense, and special teams for the first time this year. And I really think our players understood what it takes now to play that kind of ball week in and week out. Last week was a bye week for us. Certainly got a chance to catch up on some studies. And we also...
But are we all done?
All out.
A power failure.
Hello?
I got a football voice. Can you hear me?
All right.
So here's what I'll leave you with. We're excited about USC being in town. Our guys had a great week of practice. They're excited about the challenge. There's going to be a winner and there's going to be a loser. And the winner's going to be Notre Dame.
Good ad lib. Oh, yeah, now it's time. It's up to you. That was a great finish.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Somebody unplugged us.
I'm always tested in some fashion.
Well, we got the end, so let me talk about, you've got the 88 team here
Yes.
this weekend, and the pep rally, 5:45, if you want to see the pep rally tonight, and there are two diverse but giant personalities there. Digger Phelps will be there early. I got to follow Digger Phelps tonight. And then Lou Holtz will be there with Coach.
Yeah, I'm going to get an opportunity to introduce Coach Holtz. And we started something new that we're going to introduce tonight at the pep rally. We're going to do a drawing. Our football team, we talked to our leaders amongst our football team. We're going to do a drawing with our students at the pep rally. And we're going to pick one winner amongst our students at every pep rally. And the winner of that drawing, which we'll pick, one of our players will pick at the pep rally, they'll get a chance to run out of the tunnel with our football team. So we're going to do that, and that's going to be something that we kick in as something that we do at every one of our pep rallies. So that's going to be pretty exciting tonight. And you're going to get a chance to listen to Coach Holtz and the 88 championship team. So it'll be pretty exciting tonight.
So show up early. It's on the Library Mall. You won't want to miss that. Before we get specific to tomorrow, I got to ask you, how happy were you that your husband and the team won the Air State game, knowing you had 2 weeks before the next game?
I've been on the bye week on a loss. It's a long 14 days. But it was a nice win.
It was a very nice win. And I think what we need to let everybody know here, and I tried to start this luncheon with this, is the average fan thinks, USC, they're not ranked, they changed their coach, they're not any good. That's not the case with the team.
Talented football team. Again, they're playing a lot looser. They don't have, all the questions about why aren't you playing well. It's, a lot of that has been taken off their shoulders. They're playing a lot looser, freer. But our football team is excited about the opportunity to play at home, play at night. It should be a great atmosphere, a great football game. It's a great rivalry between USC and Notre Dame, and it's going to be one of those classic football games. You're here at the right time to see a great game.
All right, keys for Notre Dame.
Take care of the football. For us, it's always been that. We saw how we didn't take care of the football. Take care of the football. Don't give up the big play. We'll get a win tomorrow night.
Folks, you've seen like 5 great teams here today. Well, 6. Your former Assumption team is here. That's right. The Wounded Warriors are here. Thank you again, gentlemen. I hope you have a great weekend. The Gaelic Hurling Federation is here as well. The 88 team is here. The 2013 team is here. And a great team, the Kelly Cares Foundation founding team, is here as well. Thank you both. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paqui. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks, Brian. Thank you.